Hello everybody. I'm going to make a series of videos on pay to play, and I'm inspired by the comments that you guys have left for me on my video called Women Don't Benefit from Hookups and Why Pay to Play Makes Sense, which I will pin up above. Now I'm going to group these comments if I can keep this all straight. This comment from STN4M1N says, it's interesting that dollars can substitute for a relationship. And there were several other comments along the lines of sex is better in a relationship and all this. And pay to play is a job. It's not a relationship. It's not meant to replace a relationship. It's a job from a woman who has capacity and capability to be sort of like a courtesan, a therapist, an intimacy coach, affectionate, nourishing, sensual, understanding, empathetic, with someone who's coming to her to have a need met. The same way that it's a personal need for someone to get their needs met when they're coming for therapy, for a massage, for hospice care, or you're bringing your children to a nanny or a daycare center or to school. You are bringing someone to, you're paying for an intimate personal service, but that daycare provider doesn't substitute for the parent. Neither does the teacher, and the therapist doesn't substitute for a friend or a confidant. You're paying someone for a service. That's what people don't seem to understand. It's not a relationship. It's not meant to be a relationship. And I think one mistake that some women make in the industry, they get into this industry looking for relationship type experiences. When I'm on Twitter, looking at women's ads who are, escorts, for example, instead of kind of advertising their availability or something interesting about themselves or their life, they will post things, marketing things about phony, in my opinion, with expensive gifts or trips that they set up as marketing things to say, well, this guy bought me trips, this guy gave me gifts, so I'm looking for guys who'll take me on trips and buy me gifts. They're not interested in sex, these women. They're looking for men to buy them gifts, take them on trips, buy them $1,000 purses. And a lot of women have a minimum of 1.5 or 2 hours. So they're not really interested in sex or hooking up. In my opinion, they're kind of like not that interested in sex. They're looking for a husband or a sugar daddy. That's kind of a mistake. The way to think of an escort is someone with the capacity to fulfill your emotional, sensual, sexual needs the way that a therapist does. A therapist is in the business of providing therapy to the person who comes to them. They're not trying to make the client their friend or date their clients. In fact, it's recommended that you should not date your clients or have personal relationships with your clients, because people are coming to you to get a need met. When I go for a massage, I'm not trying to get the massage therapist to be my friend or anything. I'm there for a massage. I'm going to pay for that. It doesn't replace the fact that she may want to give a massage to her husband. That's what people have to understand. It's not a relationship. It's a job. Okay? And in this job, in my opinion, the way it's handled best is that you have to see yourself as providing a service, and the person, the woman that is the courtesan or the escort, gets to decide what kind of services she wants to offer. Some women want to be dominatrixes. They don't want any guy to touch them, okay? Some women want to do a massage with a happy ending. Some women want to do the full service. The full service women are the fewest because, frankly, women don't like to have sex with strangers, money or not. But this comment really inspired me to explain that it is not a relationship. Sorry. Um, it is not a relationship. It doesn't substitute for a relationship. Although a woman doing these services can get many of the same experiences that are close to being in a relationship. Just like someone who works with children, a kindergarten teacher or a daycare worker, or someone who works in the ICU or the nursery, gets to be part of the energy of new life and children and being affectionate with children and having that relationship with children. But that's not the same as when she has her own children. So it's a misunderstanding when women get into the industry hoping to find a boyfriend. That's like becoming a daycare worker and hoping that one of these babies is going to be adopted to you. Like, no, you have to go from a place of giving. One thing that makes the kind of pay to play a little bit different than these other jobs is that it's done in a private setting. And because there is more touch involved, boundaries and consent are super important. So the woman, just like a therapist has boundaries too, you can't just do whatever you want in the therapist's office. You have to be respectful. But when it comes to touch, there also has to be mutual respect where the woman says, these are my boundaries. This is how I like to be touched. And how do you like to be touched? And there has to be a conversation so that it's mutually enjoyable. And that's more than a lot of people can say about their jobs, because I think most people don't like their jobs. And in most jobs, you don't get to, no one asks you, what are your boundaries? What hours do you want to work? How many jobs have you had where you get to decide the hours that you work, the customers that you will see, the customers you will block, how you want to conduct your business, how you like things done, and how you don't like things done? There's a lot of autonomy and freedom, but again, this only works for women who understand I'm here to provide a service. My requirement is we both enjoy ourselves, and we will communicate throughout our session to make sure that we're both enjoying ourselves. So I wanted to address that comment right off the bat. That was a really good comment. Another comment related to that has to do with orgasms, but I'm going to make a separate video on that because I want to keep these kind of short. So this video was about pay to play does not substitute for a relationship, and it should not. Never, ever, ever date your clients. Never date your clients. I've never dated a client, and the reason is because two reasons. One, the relationship, the client relationship starts with sex. A healthy relationship doesn't start with sex. It starts with people getting to know each other, having some emotional intimacy before the physical intimacy. And once you start with sex, it's harder to discover other aspects of your relationship because you skip these other parts. And then it's easy to just start having sex and you don't know if this person is good for you. I've never seen people who dated their clients have it work out. But the more important reason is that men who are coming to a provider are coming because they have a need. And I only want to date a man who is fully complete and has no needs, is not coming to me out of a need. Okay, a man coming to an escort or a massage provider is like a man going to therapy or... Now, I'm not saying these are bad things. These are valid services. But he's coming because he has a hole in his life. Men come to escorts for legitimate reasons because they have a hole in their life. They have a wife that has neglected them, and they have needs that they want to fill, they're willing to pay for. They need affection, they need nourishment, and they're willing to pay for that. It's a love business, and you shouldn't start a relationship with someone who is that needy. Okay, they're lonely, they're horny, they're needy. Other times, they're just very busy working. I had so many young, hot guys, oh my God. You would not believe. Young, hot, fit, professional men, they're so busy working, they don't have time for a relationship. And so that's not a person worthy of dating. They either have a hole in their life, they need your affection, so they're not in a place to offer a relationship. That's what I'm trying to say. And they're wonderful men, but they're not in a place in their life where they can where they're looking for a wife. Okay, they're not in wife finding mode. They're working on a lot of areas in their lives. They're either too busy or they have some unmet need. This is my experience that I had with the men. And so they're not relationship material at that point in their lives. I think those are the main reasons. I think it's a bad idea. And then finally, how many men would want to bring hooker home to their children or their mother? You know, you have to think about that. You have to think about that when you choose to be an escort or a lady who does massages with hand jobs or the occasional blow job. I don't know if some of them do that. What man is going to bring you home to his mother and say, this is the lady who I met her when she gave me a massage with a happy ending, you know? I met her when I was, at a low point in my life, when my wife didn't want to fuck me, and I saw her, she was the best escort I ever had, and now we're dating. Like, that's not a good story. So this is why you should never date a client, okay? It starts with sex. They're at a needy point in their lives. They're not in a relationship mode because they're working a lot or they have emotional needs. And you can't bring a hooker home to your mom, okay? Now, if a woman is a sex worker and meets someone somewhere, that's a different story. That's a different story. And then a lot of men are going to be like, ooh, that's too much. Or I'm jealous, or you're too sexual for me, or whatever the issues are, and that's fine. Some men don't mind, some men do mind, whatever the situation may be. But never ever date a client. So it's not a relationship. The same way when you're a daycare worker, the parents of the children are not there to be your friends. They're customers, they're clients. So you have to think of pay to play as short-term encounters to meet a need. The same way that you might go and get a massage or have a spa day. It's a way of being pampered that has aspects of a relationship, but it's not. Never forget that when you are the provider, you are providing. You have to be in an emotionally, financially stable place in your life so that you can provide and give. You're the hostess, you're a courtesan, okay? You're not looking for a husband or trips or vacation. Those women advertising, okay, I went on this trip, this guy took me on this trip, oh my God, this guy bought me these purses, oh, he took me to this dinner, and then they take a picture where they're at dinner and they pretend it's with some client. You're looking to get. It's very bad marketing because a guy is not going to be more likely to book you just because some guy took you to dinner, which is phony anyway. It's not a very good marketing tool. When people book a service, they want to know, what can you do for me? That's what they want to know. Are you pretty? Are you sexual? Are you fun? Are you easygoing? Are you hot? Above all, they want to know that you're hot. Okay, and that's where the money is. Women who are hot, regardless of their age, who have some kind of physical beauty. Even if they're bigger boned, that's fine. Curvy, you want to have some redeeming features, a beautiful face and hair, some beautiful breasts, a nice ass, a nice waist, a nice way of dressing. not looking for a relationship. I really like these comments people left because I have so much to say about this, and this is already a 15-minute video. So that finishes the one about the relationships. His comment, it's interesting that money can substitute for a relationship, and it's not a relationship. So thank you for your comment. What did I tell him? Oh, okay. This is what I told him. It doesn't, but you can pay for services. Childcare can never replace the mother, but it is also a love-based service. And I think what he was saying is that it's not going to be a relationship for the man or the woman, but when you go to childcare, it's not the child doesn't experience his mother, and the childcare provider doesn't experience her child, but it's a love-based service, and that's ideally exactly what I want to tell you. The provider is giving love, okay? It's from love that the woman is willing to share her intimate space with the man, and that's why screening is so important. That's a separate video, but that's the intention, that's the offering, and that's the service. It's a love-based service, and there is love involved. Love towards the woman, love towards the client, but it's not the same kind of love you have in a relationship. But there are various grades of love. Call it affection, call it honoring, call it respect, call it warmth, call it dear and endearing feelings. Okay? Not a relationship, a love-based service. And you can pay for a love-based service. And the more you pay, the more you can access women who are love-based. The very lowest rates, you're going to get the streetwalkers who are renting out their bodies and hate men. And when you go up in price, you're going to get more wholesome women. Women like me when I was doing it. Can I advertise this stuff on YouTube, by the way? My coaching website is strictly for coaching. Like if you want to talk to me, because I do coaching now or as well. And I help people, I listen to people who want to talk to me about their sexual issues. Someone that you just want to talk to about what's going on in your life. I also do like somatic and emotional coaching. So I offer all of that. If you want to talk to me, go to the bio of my YouTube channel and sign up. Or you can also join the members area if you like, or just keep watching my videos and leave your comments because I do like making videos on the comments. So this is going to be in my pay-to-play playlist, which I'm starting today.